What are the basics of making a post on Steemit? Thankfully, Steemit posts are very simple to make. You click on Submit Story up on the upper right of your profile. You then have three basic fields over here you use. You use the title, you use this is the main story tab, then you've got tags. I'll explain each of these elements here quickly. You can also click the editor over here if you'd like to do more of an HTML and have the option for bold, italics, and strike through and all these other options without having to use Markdown. I like Markdown. It's pretty simple. It has its own specific formatting requirements. For example, if you want to do bold, you need to do 2 stars to make bold, and I'll put it this way, bold. And then down below, you'll see on the lower left, there's a little preview of what your post looks like down there. What I like about this post editor is that it's easily intuitive to see how it works. So if I go show you one of my other posts over here, you'll see how some of the various areas show up in it. What you get when you put your title in here is you get this section up here. Now, the characters are not limited in the title, which is cool. However, it also presents a potential to make a title that's way too long and awkward. You want a simple, short title that communicates the value of it in as few words as possible. Something like 100 characters or so limit is good. You'll notice most of my titles are in that range. So I don't go use huge, gigantic, long titles. And then one of the key things a lot of authors, even more established authors, miss on, and especially newer ones, is the importance of this first line on here. Lots of the upvotes I get and that I make, these are all I see. I see the picture, I see the title, and I see the text here. This is where you sell reading your article. This is one of the very most important parts of the article. You need a compelling title matched with a compelling beginning here, and that's where you sell people on reading what you've got to say. Now, doing something like putting an affiliate code right in here is ultra stupid, because you're turning people off of reading your post immediately right in the text. Now, sure, you might think, well, I don't want anyone to read it who's not interested in affiliate code. I've seen that response, and if you've got a bunch of followers, you can afford to do that, go ahead. I don't look at it, I have enough followers at 4,100 followers to just intentionally try and exclude people from reading my posts, unless maybe I make a nude post of myself, in which case I will try and encourage people who don't want to see it to not go look at it. Other than that, or generally, you want to make it clear what your post is, and then explain that in one sentence if you can up here, combined with the title. So where do you do that? Well, you do that when you click Submit a Story. You've got your title, and then the first characters, you can see whatever the amount is from here. However many this is, if I go to the character count, I could actually get an exact count of it. So why don't we go look? We'll just do the character counter online. Let's see an exact count of this. How many characters is this character count? That's 111 characters it allows me to put out there. I don't know if it's the exact same every time or not, but you can get an idea. 111 characters that will let you type out here. It's critical to match these two up. And from there, it's just about making a post you would enjoy reading. Oh, one thing a lot of people struggle with, the thumbnail. Here's how you make the thumbnail simple. You can make the thumbnail very simple. I guess I'll just click update this post because it keeps wanting me to edit it. The easy way to do the thumbnail, I just do a screenshot right at the top, because Steemit pulls the very first image as your thumbnail. Whatever image you want to be your thumbnail needs to be the first image in the post. I just put my first image right here because that makes it simple and easy. and then there's not some big image to scroll down past. It also guarantees that my thumbnail's always in there. That's how I do it. Now, if you're trying to share a video or something and you don't put an image in there, it will give you some ugly cropped image. The simple workaround is to take your thumbnail from the video, put that at the beginning, then put your text, then put your vlog, your YouTube video or whatever down below that. Then you won't have some uncomfortably cropped looking thumbnail. A thumbnail is a very important part of your post, and what I like to do is to put my face on most all of my thumbnails, as you can see, because this gives me consistency. That way, if you are just looking through the home feed, for example, it gives me consistency because my face then appears in all my thumbnails. Anyone who's just casually browsing easily recognizes my different thumbnails then, because my face is on all of my different thumbnails. I like to use canva.com to help with that. It's easy then to get a picture of myself and to match it up. I actually use Wirecast, which I'm using to record my videos. I just record me over top of whatever I'm doing, and then I take that as a screenshot. I think this is a great thumbnail approach over time for brand recognition and to get an idea of making it unique. If you look, a lot of the home feed and a lot of the trending, they're kind of these generic thumbnails. So when you're just browsing past, a lot of them are generic thumbnails. However, you'll see like Sweet Jess does a good job with this. If you look at her thumbnails, now she actually appears in most of her thumbnails. So you'll see if you look back at her thumbnails, she is actually in the majority of her thumbnails. So she's one of the very top authors on Steemit. She's doing the same thing with, she puts her face on the majority of her thumbnails as well. And she has beautiful photographs. You'll notice like Trayvon here, he'll have his face on lots of his posts. And then some of the other authors don't go about it that way. I think this is a really good way to go about it, which is why I do it that way, especially over time. When you are making the post also, you want to save this or back it up somewhere. The browser does a decent job with it. What I do is I use Airtable. So I use Airtable over here, and then I have my posts I can access on any device. This way, if anything happens to my post, for example, one time I was making a post on Steemit, and I don't know what happened, but it totally folded. There was some error in the blockchain. The post didn't go up live. One of the best things you can do is make sure you have a backup of your posts. I like Airtable because I use it for all kinds of spreadsheets, and they're easy to share. Instantly pull up and save them on any device. You can also use Evernote. I've used Evernote to back my posts up. You could use Microsoft Word, Google Documents, whatever you use something, especially if you're writing a really long, in-depth post. Make sure you back it up so that you don't lose all of your work at once. I hope this has been helpful, giving a general overview of the post. I'll share two more quick things before we're done. On the rewards, you always want to select, 99% of the time you want to select default payout right now, because Steam-backed dollars are actually worth much more than $1. Therefore, you actually get the most money with this payout. There's very few situations you want to decline payout based on principle, and because I don't see the need to do that very often. However, if just based on principle you want to take no payout, then sure. But the problem is if you decline payout, I believe you also are preventing people from getting curation rewards on that. I'm not 100% on that, but if that is the case, your post is much less attractive to vote up and share. I think default 50-50 is the way to go, which is why I've got a post explaining that. However, you can power up 100%, which will give you everything in Steam Power. If you'd rather get 30% less money for your post than without costing Steam anything else, then go for it. Choose Power Up 100%. When you're ready for your post, You want to upvote your own post as well. For me, I get anywhere from like $5 at the lowest to $33 or so at the highest to upvote my own post. You want to leave your upvote your own post check to apply your own voting power to your post. And then when you're done, you hit post on here and it will go out. One last thing I didn't mention are the tags. So the tags, you can see the tags. If you go to steemit.com, you'll see this topic and tags list. If I go show more topics and sort by payouts, you can see the top tags by payout. I'll stick my face in the middle here. So Steemit is the top payout currently, and basically you could argue that between Steemit and Life, you could probably post about anything in those two. I usually include one of these two on here. However, the Introduce Yourself is one of the most lucrative categories on Steemit, because one of the most exciting things for people is to see new introductions. You'll notice that there's very few posts on Introduce Yourself relative to the payment on many of these other popular categories. If you have not made a post on Steemit, you absolutely want to start off with a very good Introduce Yourself post. One of the missed opportunities I frequently see is halfway done introductory posts. I'll show you my introductory post. I'm grateful my very first post on Steemit earned $400 and something, and I'll show you. This is my introductory post. Just huge introductory post, bunch of pictures, lots of very honest, in-depth personal stories shared, and these seem to work consistently the best for people. If you want to browse a specific category on Steemit, you can just go over and, for example, I can look at all the Introduce Yourself posts. I can click on steemit.com/trending/introduce yourself. I believe I can also go to hot Introduce Yourself. I don't know if that makes much of a difference or not, but you can pick the exact tag over here. Look at these trending introductory posts. You can also, I think, nope, you can't go to new, but you can go to hot and trending introductory posts. So you can see some of these new introductory posts. A lot of these can be great for curation rewards as well, because you've got a good chance to vote up. A lot of these introductory posts get really good upvotes. So some of these, if you want to earn curation rewards, you can look through the Introduce Yourself posts. You can see examples of other people who've done really good introduction posts and do one for yourself. Yes, if you went through and you did an introductory post and you didn't do a very good job with it, or no one just saw it, you did do a great job, you can go and do another Introduce Yourself post. I mean, those are kind of cheesy, but people do make decent money on those. So I'll show you my friend Robert. He did an introduction post. Let's see. He did an introduction post a while back. So you'll see this original Hello Steemit post Robert didn't do a whole lot. He didn't make like anything on it. So Robert went back a while later and says, let me reintroduce myself. And then that post got almost $100. So if you started off like that and it doesn't go as well, you can always post another one later. Thank you for watching this. I hope this has been helpful in explaining submitting a post on Steemit and then talking about which tags to use to make your post.